modern military aircraft that do not give that telltale sign of a smoke trail from the engines on their as they're flying. So you can watch right now the F-86 on the takeoff roll. Kepler has the drop tanks on his aircraft as we watch it depart. Got two F-86s in the skies over northern Illinois right now, folks, as we watch them swing around out there off that right end zone. What an absolutely phenomenal day. Every time we turn around and look, it's so cool to see so many great fans out.
Hello everybody, welcome back to another edition of Matchbox Marks Diecast Restorations. So this project, let me bring up my camera a little bit there. I'm teaming up with Opa, the Tootsie Toy King, and we have both decided to partake in a build called Now for Something Completely Different build. So first thing, I want to thank Opa for sending me this casting. He also sent me a bunch of Tootsie Toys. So thank you, Opa. I appreciate that very much. So most of you know, if not, I am retired Air Force, spent 20 years in the Air Force, and he sent me this as a token of his appreciation for me being in the Air Force. So I had mentioned he's got a plane like this. So I asked him, well, let's just do a build-off. And this is the North American F-86 Sabre. So it is an older jet. I'm not overly familiar with it because it was kind of before my time. So anyway, I'm going to paint it to match this F-16, which I'm very familiar with. That jet's been around for a little while. Most of my Air Force career I sported F-16s. So I'm going to try to paint it like that. This build, there's not a lot of in-between stages that I'm going to show. So I am going to put this in this stripper and take off the wheels. Opa gave me a little trick how to remove the wheels, and how to put them back together. So, having said all that, Opa, let's see what I can do to this thing, and let's crack on. Alright, here's an update on the North American F-86 Sabre. So, I changed my mind with the color. I just went on Google Images and I found a really cool color scheme that I think was the original color. So I'm not going to do it red, white, and blue. And I did take off the wheels. And this is actually a Midge toy, made in Rockford, Illinois. It's a good old American made. So, alright. So, stay tuned. Alright, here's the F-86. And it looks like it primed up pretty good. So I'm going to put a coat of paint on it, do some trim work and some decals, and this baby will be ready to hit the sky. Alright, stay tuned. Alright, here's the F-86 Sabre. I've got it painted up. Now I just need to do some detail work. Alright, this is going to come out pretty cool. So stay tuned. Alright, let's take a look at where we started at. Just a run-of-the-mill Tootsie Toy. And let's see where I ended up. Alright, it is time for the reveal for my North American F-86 Sabre build with Opa, the Tootsie Toy King. And we decided to call this Now for Something Completely Different build. For me, I've never done an airplane and I've never done a Midge toy. So, let's run down the list of specs for this thing. So, this jet was primarily used for air-to-air combat in the Korean War. Its first flight was October 1st, 1947. and it was introduced to the Air Force in 1948 and then retired from the Air Force in 1965. There were a total of 9,860 built with a whopping cost of $219,457. Just in comparison, for today's standard, the average F-16 cost about $30 million. So there you go. The F-86A set its first world speed record on September 15th, 1948 at 671 miles per hour. Now, as you notice on the side of this, you'll see call letters FU and then 708. So those are actually called buzz numbers. And those were introduced after World War II into the early 60s. The FU represents the aircraft. So F represents fighter. And then the FU represents the F-86 Sabre. If it would have a B on the side, it would be a bomber, C would be cargo, and P would be pursuit. The last to carry the buzz numbers was the F-4 Phantom. And the F-4 was actually still flying when I was in the Air Force in 1988. And so what I did was, the FU is the buzz numbers, and I did 708. July 08 was when I retired from the Air Force, so that was my significance to the number. And also on the tail, I've got MM for Matchbox Mark, and I've got 0167. I was born in January 1967. And, I forgot, the reason why they have the buzz numbers is so pilots wouldn't be hot dogging and doing low-speed flybys. Back in the day, in the introduction of jet engines, it was probably very tempting for the pilots to let her rip across the sky. So if they did, then they would get busted. So anyway, a little background on the F-86 Sabre. This is really, really cool. Took just a grungy old Midge toy that I got from OPA and turned it into something good. So this was the original paint scheme. Got the yellow trim there. So anyway, excited to go see OPA's, and I'll put a link to his build. And once again, I really want to thank you for watching. And if you're going to leave a comment, please be respectful. And I will catch you on the next one.
That's all, folks.